I am Hal Payne, Vice President, Student Affairs here at Buffalo State College, and it is my pleasure to welcome you and to serve as Master of Ceremonies for today's program. Thank you all for joining us. You know, on December 6, 1948, Buffalo State broke ground on the construction of the building in which we are now standing. And as you might imagine, this building, as it stands today, hardly resembles the one that received its cornerstone on May 5th, 1949, or the addition to that building that was completed in 1967. 23 years later, at our commencement of May 1990, former Governor Mario Cuomo first announced a plan for a new student union for Buffalo State. We then set upon a three-phased effort to renovate the Campbell Student Union. And in 2001, many of you were here when we experienced the completion of phase one of that renovation to the Student Union, with the completion of our Barnes & Noble bookstore. And several of you were here in 2008, phase two, when we had the grand opening of our retail and residential dining complexes. And we are so happy to have you here with us today as we celebrate the final phase of that project, the renovation of our lobby, our third floor, and our basement. We've had many supporters for this phase of the renovation, and many of you who supported us are here with us today. Our college council, represented by Muhammad Sambundu, our Buffalo State Foundation, our Alumni Association, and of course, our biggest supporter of this phase of the renovation, our president, Dr. Aaron Podolewski. Regrettably, President Podolewski cannot be with us this morning. However, he wanted me to share with you how incredibly excited he is about the reopening of Buffalo State's Student Union, which provides our close-knit campus community with a revitalized, improved, and expanded gathering place that will become the hub for student activities, for student life, and for campus life. So we are honored, in particular, to be joined today by our mayor, the former president of our Alumni Association, a member of the class of 1983. Would you please join me in welcoming to the podium the mayor of the city of Buffalo, the Honorable Byron W. Brown. Mayor Brown.
Thank you, Vice President Hal Payne, and I want to thank President Aaron Podolewski for inviting me to be here. Let's give Dr. Podolewski a round of applause in his absence. Now I want to explain, first of all, my red tie. Today is the American Heart Association Go Red for Women Day, which is why I have my red tie on. Otherwise, I would certainly have my orange and black tie. So I just want to explain why I don't have the proper tie on today. It is always good to be back at my alma mater. This is a tremendous renovation of this wonderful space that for so many years has been a center of activity at Buffalo State College. And I can tell you from the tour that I was able to take about 5 minutes ago that it certainly looks a lot different than it did when I was a student here. I want to just recognize a few colleagues in government who are here. the Dean of the Western New York State Legislative Delegation, Assemblymember Robin Schimminger. Seated next to Assemblyman Schimminger, New York State Senator Mark Grisanti. And next to Senator Grisanti, the Assembly member that represents the Buffalo State community, Assemblyman Sean Ryan. And then finally, I want to recognize a member of the SUNY Board of Trustees, Mrs. Eunice Lewin. You know, I am so glad today that we again get to honor Mildred Keller Campbell, who graduated from Buffalo State College in 1928 and dedicated years of service to the college. This beautiful union, as you all know, is named after Ms. Campbell, and I am positive that she would be excited to see what the union looks like today. The union's renovation is just another example of the great progress that's taking place in the city of Buffalo, and certainly the progress that's taking place right here at Buffalo State College. As you all know, over $1.3 billion in economic development activity is underway in the city of Buffalo, with great momentum taking place all over the city, and certainly taking place around the Buffalo State community, both in Elmwood Village and on Grant Street as well. As I stand here, I hearken back to some great times and great memories I've had in this building. And a former schoolmate who is here today, and I won't name who that is, said to me, "If only the walls could talk." I can remember days of the Muscular Dystrophy Association dance marathons that were held here. I will tell you a little story about myself in this building. I remember being a contestant in the MDA dance marathon and dancing in this building from about 10 o'clock in the evening till about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I see from some people shaking their heads that a few of you might have been here during some of those fun times in the social hall as well. This has always been a tremendous center of learning and socializing and friendship here on Buffalo State campus, and it's great to see that this space will continue in that same great spirit and tradition of this college. This is a wonderful day for the city of Buffalo. This is a wonderful day for Buffalo State College, and I want to congratulate everyone who has played a role in bringing us to this day. Now, to all the students, I want to wish you a healthy and successful spring semester for 2013. And of course, to all of the students and all of the staff and all of the faculty, go Bengals! Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Brown. We are very proud of you, and we applaud you for everything you're doing for the city of Buffalo. One more round of applause for our mayor. The mayor welcomed and introduced you to many of our guests. I do want to again recognize our SUNY trustee who is present, Eunice Lewin. We're so delighted to have our state senator, Senator Mark Grisanti, the dean of the delegation, of course, Robin Schimminger, and our own personal state legislator, Sean Ryan. Also here today, we have our provost, Dennis Ponton. Dennis. Our Vice President for Finance and Management, whose staff has been so important to this project, Vice President Michael Levine. And other members of the President's Cabinet who are present, Karen Clinton-Jones, our Chief Diversity Officer, and Don Irwin, our Chief Information Officer. This renovation demonstrates our commitment to improving the value of the Buffalo State experience for all of our students. And this renovation will enable us to enhance the ways we connect with and engage with our students to improve retention and graduation here at Buffalo State. I am pleased that we are able to come together here today, and I would like to recognize a few others who are specifically responsible for making today possible. I want to thank all of our campus facilities staff, in particular, Mike Bonfanti. Mike. Steve Schaefer. Steve. And members of my own staff, my Associate Vice President, Timothy Eklund. Gail Wells, who was very much involved in the early phases of this project, and in particular, Sarah Velez, the Interim Director of Student Life, who really was the manager and honcho of the project, and as you can see, very popular. I also, of course, want to thank all the graduate assistants and building managers who've been so important to this project, and Sarah Garfinkel, our President of United Students Government, who gave great leadership to this project, who will speak to you in a few minutes. In 1967, a reporter for our campus newspaper, The Record, referred to part of the new student union as an architectural feast for the eyes. In that Record article, he noted that it is literally tons of concrete suspended in midair. Well, for any of you who were students here this time last year, or if you worked in the building, you know that one of the great challenges for our architects and contractors was removing all that concrete and creating this light, airy space that we have today in place of that concrete suspended in midair. So I want to ask each of you to give an applause to our architects, BHNT, people from BHNT who are here. Our contractors from RB Mac, contractors, please stand. And we had lots of subcontractors. Are any of the subcontractors here? Please stand. And thank all of you for a job well done. And as soon as we finish the ribbon cutting, I encourage everyone here to tour the building. There's going to be much for you to see. You won't believe the new building. It is transformed. I want to give special thanks to our planning committee for their hard work in planning today's ceremony. Members of the planning committee, please raise your hands. And particularly to Dr. Benita Duran, Chief of Staff in the President's Office, for her leadership and hard work. Finally, I want to thank all of you, members of the student body, the staff, the faculty, who have supported development of this project, and your patience as you had to cope with all that noise, all that dust, and all that debris as we got this building completed. At this time, I am pleased to welcome the President of the United Students Government, someone that I have had the pleasure of working with now for 2 years, She first met me at an open house on Long Island. Today she has reached her senior year. She will be graduating in May in exceptional education. She's active on just about every committee of the college, and she's been a wonderful leader of the 35th USG legislature, our USG president, Sarah Garfinkel. Sarah?
Each experience at Buffalo State is similar to a chapter in a book. Today, we begin a new chapter. Today, we celebrate the opening of the new and improved Campbell Student Union. The Student Union is an area for all students to spend time in. Whether it is to play pool in the USG game room, have a meal with friends, attend an event, or just to study in the Fireside Lounge, every student comes to the Student Union at some point in their day. When students enter the union, they feel like they are in a second home, and this is why I believe that this building is a central hub of our campus. With the union renovations officially complete, this building will continue to be the students' home away from home when they are not commuting, dorming, or attending classes. I look forward to seeing the endless possibilities that this building now offers to students, and I hope everyone takes full advantage of these beautiful facilities. On behalf of the United Students Government and all Buffalo State students, I would like to thank everyone who worked so hard to complete this project.
Well, thank you, Sarah, and again, thanks to USG. This has been so important. And thanks to our new graduate student association. There are members of the board of our graduate association present. Please raise your hands. That's something new that Dean Rayleigh has brought to us, and we're very excited now to have both an undergraduate and graduate student association. On October 8th of 1993, after the dedication of the naming of this building to Mildred Campbell, who the mayor referred to a minute ago, Mrs. Campbell reflected on the meaning of student union. She said it is the students that will lay the foundation, it is the students that will carry on, it is the students that will establish and recognize what we are doing here. Union recognizes togetherness, sharing, and caring. So, as we dedicate this final phase of the new Campbell Student Union, let's remember the dedication and generosity of Mrs. Campbell and the Vogelsang family. Remember, this now is your student union. This is your building, yes. So, welcome back to the Campbell Student Union, and welcome to all of you who are here today. And I am going to turn things over to Pam Boyer from the Planning Committee and Sarah Velez as they ask our ribbon cutters to come forward.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, cut the ribbon!